Hi everyone, it's Nicole Spohr here today, and I am popping in with a couple of really quick and easy pre-made die-cut background cards featuring components from the Simon Says Stamp limited edition Valentine's 2020 card kit. There are just a limited number of these kits still available. The individual products in the kit, some of these may still be available, and I will link to those individual products as well. But I wanted to share some really quick and easy cards today. So one of my very favorite looks, especially all of the time, really, even if you're creating your own text background, but as a text background, especially something that's not a perfect text background like this first one, and then layering some sort of image over it. So whether that's stamps or whatever, die cuts, whatever it might be, in this case, it's pre-made die cuts. These are some of the pre-made die cuts available in that Valentine's kit. And I simply group together florals, and I'm playing around with placement, and then I'm going to glue them down. Really, really fast and easy. Definitely, if you're looking to quickly put together some cards, this is a great way to do that. Maybe you want to swap out the Valentine's sentiments for anniversary sentiments, wedding sentiments, birthday sentiments, sympathy sentiment. You can do that very easily. I would probably, maybe not for all of those, for the love theme, definitely you could stick with the vellum overlay heart, but for some of the others, maybe you want to do a circle vellum overlay. That's the next part of this that we're going to get to. I really kind of pulled from my kind of quote unquote, air quotes, if you could see me, bag of tricks, some of my favorite techniques and combined them here. So we've got the text background, that pattern paper is from the kit. We have these pre-made pieces. These are all from the kit as well. And then I am just going to grab some vellum from my stash and a heart die from my stash. This is a Simon Says Stamp nested hearts die. And I'm going to take the stamp set, the 6x8 stamp set included in this kit, also available for individual purchase. It's called Be My Valentine. We are going to stamp sentiments from that on the die cut vellum heart, overlay this, and finish with another pre-made die cut, one of these cute little pink butterflies that you can see in the bottom left corner of your screen. So definitely used a lot from the kit, and then we're going to finish with some of the sequins that were included in the kit as well. So I've used lots and lots of the product from the kit for these cards. Now you might remember last week I shared another video that had a few other projects that showcased the kit in a completely different way. We made gift bags, there were some little stamped envelopes. So this kit really does it all. Everything from quick and easy cards like I'm sharing here that look like they've took quite a bit more time than they actually did, to some more time consuming, because I did some paper piecing for the gift bags, although those came together pretty quick too. But they showcase the gift bags from the kit and some cute die cut critters, and then they're holding some stamped stuff that I also used components from the kit for those as well. So you can really do a lot with this kit, and I just absolutely love pre-made die cuts. I will often, if I am working with a kit that comes with them, I will group together. So you can kind of see over there on the left side of the screen, I wanted to talk about that kind of quick. You can, right now I'm lining up the sentiments from Be My Valentine on that vellum heart. In my MISTI, I'm going to stamp those with a clear embossing ink and heat emboss with Simon Says Stamp Antique Gold Embossing Powder. But I grouped together die cuts. I ended up not doing a card with those conversation hearts, but it gives you an idea of how I pull the product out and group it together. So I grouped the florals together. Kind of the pinks I grouped all together, and then I grouped the reds. You're going to see those in the next card. And then I grouped the conversation hearts together and sentiments together. Kind of off screen, I had a bunch of the sentiments because I thought I would maybe make something with those, and I just simply ran out of time, so I just decided to stick with these two cards today since they're very similar. But you can create a lot of projects from this one kit. The antique gold, I think, ups the elegance factor for this particular card design. I love stamping and embossing on vellum. Vellum is my go-to as far as if you want to add a sentiment easily, but not take away from the beauty of the background. In this instance, the beauty of the background is this awesome text paper, the florals, and I don't want to cover it all up, but I need to add my sentiment. And vellum is a great way to do that. You can use die cuts like I did here. You can trim it into a strip. If you don't have a die cut that is going to work with whatever sentiment you're using, you can cover the entire panel with vellum. There's so many ways to add vellum to a card project like this or a card panel. I hid my liquid adhesive back behind the embossed letters, and then I put that acrylic block on top to hold it flat while the liquid glue dries so that the vellum doesn't curl up. It does have a tendency to curl up when using liquid adhesive. And I only have the Xyron little mini sticker maker. I don't have a wider Xyron anymore. And so I wasn't able to run it through to put that adhesive all over the back. You could also use spray adhesive if you want to, you know, eliminate the liquid glue time altogether. I put foam adhesive on the back of the wings of the butterfly, liquid adhesive in the center, and then I clamped it down with some craft tweezers to hold that liquid adhesive down while the glue dries. But the foam underneath the wings of the butterfly give it a little bit of lift, so adds a fun little touch. And then I'm simply going to take our sequins and we're going to add a little scattering. Just kind of play around with that. Once I have the placement how I want it to look, I am going to go ahead and use a crystal katana and liquid glue and glue these in place. And I didn't go over the top. I only added just a little sprinkling of these. But then to tie it all together back into the antique gold embossing of the sentiment, we're going to take some Nuvo crystal drops in pale gold and add a little droplet to the center of each sequin. This is, again, one of those little go-to technique things that I like to do to finish off my sequins. I think it just adds a really fun touch. I will even add a few, again, not a ton, of individual Nuvo crystal droplets on my card background. You want to make sure you let your card completely dry for 24 hours. This panel does measure 4 inches by 5 1/4, so it's slightly smaller than A2 sized. I'm going to glue this to the top of a front fold, or top fold, pardon me, card base, so it's going to have a nice white border all the way around, and that is going to finish up my card. So my second card is basically the same thing. However, I did not have quite enough of the paper left over to create exactly the same one. So I wanted to show what you can do. If you don't have the exact same paper, I just picked another text paper. So this one's a little bit different, but again, still super pretty. Trimmed it down to 4 by 5 1/4 inches. And I didn't have quite enough red roses to fill the whole thing. So I pulled in one of these darker pinks with it, and I ended up really liking how that looks. So most of my card background is red, but this particular pink floral I thought played nicely with the red and works really great. Plus we are going to be using the little pink butterfly, so I think it ties together nice. Then I'm simply going to fill in all the areas with the rest of my red roses. A little tip for you is part of these images, what makes this work is you don't want them hanging out and just kind of floating in the center of your panel. You want them hanging off of the side. And when they hang off the side, there's going to be a bit of an overhang that you have to trim away. And I did this on both the first card and this one. The part I trim away, if it's a substantial part like those leaves I just adhered along the left side, I will reuse that. I will add that somewhere along an edge, and it just gives the illusion that you have more flowers than you do, and you're able to kind of use up all of those little scraps. So I did that for this one. Now on the first card, we put our heart kind of in the lower half, shifted over to the right. For this one, I really felt it worked better because there's kind of a little open space up at the top. We're going to put it in the upper half, shifted over to the left. For whatever reason, visually, this is how I really like my large vellum or even just a regular die cut that I put a sentiment or something on. I like them to either be in one of these two spots. That for my eye, that just is kind of where I'm drawn to. And so I just did each one a tiny bit different. Other than that, everything is the same. So again, pattern papers from the kit, the stamp sets from the kit, the sequins are from the kit, and the die cuts are from the kit. We're going to go ahead and hide our adhesive back behind the embossing. I did switch up my greeting a little bit, so I used Happy Valentine's Day for both, but I used To the Happy Couple on this card and I Love You Forever and Always on the first one. We'll add our sequins, we'll add our Nuvo crystal drops, and these quick and easy die cut background cards are all finished. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for these two quick and easy Valentine cards featuring components from the Simon Says Stamp Limited Edition 2020 Valentine's Day Card Kit. The supplies I used to create my cards are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Here are a couple more videos featuring Simon Says Stamp kits that you might be interested in. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and we'll catch you next time.